Hi folks, this is Gabe with Security Baron, and have you ever wondered what a physical encapsulation of Google might look like? Well, here we have it today with the Google Nest Hub. So let's go ahead and put it to the test. In today's review of the Google Nest Hub, we're going to go over some pros and cons, its feature set, the installation process, its design, before diving into its user experience to make sure you have all the information you need to make the right decision. If you'd like to see a full written review of the Google Nest Hub, check it out at securitybaron.com. Let's kick off today's review of the Google Nest Hub, going over some pros and cons, beginning with the pros. Hey Google, show me your pros. Well, I guess it's not plugged in, so I can't do that now. But the point I'm making is that it is really great when it comes to vocal commands. It understands plain language pretty well, and it makes it easy to use when I'm doing things like, opening up YouTube. So beyond just the touch display, I can use my voice to find the exact music video I'm trying to watch, and it integrates that well with Google Play Music, Spotify, and a few other services. So I enjoy the experience and the integration of YouTube. And the final thing I'll note is that you can also look at your smart devices right in the touch display, all really useful for those of us who are trying to make an ecosystem in our lives. Now on the con side, I will state that, yeah, I can watch whatever music video I want, but it may not hit the same, if you know what I'm saying. The bass is just not gonna be that strong. The speakers definitely have room for improvement. On top of that, yes, I can make phone calls and talk to people in other places, but there's no camera on the Google Nest Hub, so I'm not really able to make that connection that one wants to have when having a phone call, and kind of what we expect, I think, these days whenever we see a display. So those are the pros and cons on the Google Nest Hub. Now that we've gone over some pros and cons for the Google Nest Hub, let's talk about its feature set. Now, of course, one of the main draws for the Google Nest Hub is that Google Assistant. It has microphones built in so it can hear you and you can control the things in your home. Beyond that, you can also control the Google Nest Hub itself for things like music. Music, I think a lot of us now use voice control for, and with Google Nest Hub, you've got Spotify, Google Play Music, YouTube Music, Pandora, and iHeartRadio. So just a lot of services available to you for listening to music. Whoa, hold on. I hope you're enjoying today's review of the Google Nest Hub. If you want to be kept up to date on all the newest in smart hub, smart home, security, and cybersecurity, among other things, subscribe to our channel, Security Baron. We're dropping new content weekly. All right, let's get back to the video. Now with a device like the Google Nest Hub, one expects to be able to watch video. And while the screen's not the biggest, the convenience factor for that integrated YouTube is absolutely remarkable. One can use their voice to simply ask to watch any music video they might want to watch any videos from their favorite YouTube stars, or anything of that nature, and have a really easy experience with the Google Nest Hub. Another feature that I'd like to discuss on the Google Nest Hub is the shopping feature, because honestly, this was a lot easier and impressive than I thought it could be. In terms of searching, you can just use your voice, look for a product, and then you can thumb through the search results from the Google Express store right on the display. From there, you can add it to your cart and even check out. Now, when it comes to places I think people are likely to place their Google Nest Hub, I think the kitchen is one of them, because it does facilitate the entire cooking process. It's pretty small. You can place it in the corner of a counter, and it's going to facilitate that entire cooking process with the ability to not only find recipes using your voice, but it'll even recite the instructions to you, along with giving you a complete ingredient list in an easily digestible format. And that's our look at some of the main features with your Google Nest Hub. So now that we've gone over some pros and cons and the feature set for the Google Nest Hub, let's talk about the installation experience, which honestly is a breeze, thank goodness. You're just gonna plug it into an outlet, make sure you have the Google Home app downloaded to your mobile smart device, and you'll be ready to go. You'll sync the two, you'll connect it to your Wi-Fi, and boom, you're done. I believe even including firmware and software updates, it's gonna take you less than 10 minutes, but of course you're gonna spend as much time as you like customizing your Google Nest Hub for yourself. So that's our look at the installation experience for the Google Nest Hub. Now that we've gone over the installation of the Google Nest Hub, let's talk about its design. Now you know right off the bat that it's a 7-inch LCD display, so it's not the largest of screens, not the highest of resolutions, but it'll definitely get the job done for those of us just trying to watch our favorite cooking videos. Now at the top where you would expect a camera, you actually see an ambient light sensor, which basically decides on what the brightness should be on how dark the room is. On each side is what you would expect, the microphones. Now these microphones you can use for calling, for controlling Google Assistant, and if you note on the back, they can both be turned off with this physical switch. So if I decide, you know what, I don't want to be heard by anyone, definitely not Google Assistant, I can switch it off. Now the other physical elements are the up and down volume buttons found on the back of the device, and if I hold them both at the same time, I can actually reset the device, which is useful to be able to do. Now the only port found on this device is the power port. You got a 1.5 meter cable, plug it in here and you're ready to go, because there's no need for an Ethernet adapter as it all connects through Wi-Fi. And one particular touch I liked about Google Nest Hub is the rubber bottom, so it's not really going to move around. You don't have to worry about it like kind of clanging hard. It's just going to be a nice soft piece that you place on a counter or a shelf in your home. And speaking of home, we have the charcoal version, but there are various colors available to you, so you can make sure you find a Google Nest Hub that fits your particular decor. So overall, I like the design of the Google Nest Hub, and I think it's pretty cute. The final thing I want to do today in our look at the Google Nest Hub is actually have a user experience and check out what it's like to go through and interface with these main features on the device itself. So here I am checking out the user experience and feature set on the Google Nest Hub. Now you'll note right off the bat, you get the time and you get this fine art gallery for display. Now you don't have to use the fine art gallery. You can use your own photos from Google Photos, from Facebook, and even Flickr. So you're really able to personalize your display with your Google Nest Hub. Now you'll see that here from the bottom, I can go directly into some settings like my volume, my brightness, and other settings here, even set an alarm. Now if I go out of here and go from the left, I can go directly in to my clock. And then you'll note the ambient sensor kicks in and it gets darker. So let's go back. Whoops. Make sure that ambient sensor has it really nice and bright. And voila. Now if I go from the top, I can actually look at my entire smart home, my lights, routines, media. And if I slide over, I can actually get news, Google Play Music, YouTube. But of course, with a smart hub, one of the big elements is being able to control it using your voice and not just touch. So let's go ahead and just check that out. If I wanted to, use some of the more common necessary features, let's begin with music. So, hey Google, play me a station from Google Play Music.
Sure, music on Google Play Music. Here you go.
Hey Google, pause. So you get the idea. I can use music, I can set up Spotify, Pandora, Google Play Music, YouTube Music. There are a lot of options for you. Now, speaking of YouTube, that's a place where I love to be. Let's go ahead and check that out on your Google Nest Hub, just using my voice. So I can say, hey Google, play Security Baron on YouTube.
Sure, here's Security Baron on YouTube.
I've always wanted my own moment in the spotlight. I think. Wow, look at that guy. And I have to say that I didn't expect it to. Hey Google, pause video. So you get a lot of capabilities right there on your Google Nest Hub when it comes to passive activities like listening to music or watching a video. Now, if I wanted to kind of do something a little more active, maybe I'm hungry, so I can actually say, hey Google, show me some good hamburger recipes.
Here are some recipes I found.
Best hamburger ever, all American hamburgers. So let's go ahead and check out this best hamburger ever. That's pretty good. You get the various ingredients. I'm looking at this, start cooking. If I wanted to start cooking, I can tap here.
There are 14 ingredients. You can ask for the next ingredient or skip to the instructions. The first ingredient is 1.5.
Skip to instructions.
There are 5 steps. I'll read them one by one. When you're ready to hear more, you can say next step.
Hey Google,
First step.
Pause. So I started to work on this hamburger recipe and I realized I really need a better grill. Fortunately, I can order it right here from my Google Nest Hub. I can just say, hey Google, add a grill to my shopping cart.
Okay, here are the most popular results for grill on Google Express.
Now, back home, my family in the South, we have something more like this. But I'll be honest with you, I think in New York, I honestly have something more like this, which is pretty embarrassing. And I probably need something a little bit more like this charbroil or something like that. I can look around, there's Weber here, Blackstone. There's some different options of things I can look at. But if I just want to add, this one, I can add it here by tapping on it. I already have one in the cart. I've been looking at this for a minute. And let me just go ahead and add it now. And from here, I can actually check out. I can show my cart. I can save this to a list, change delivery address. There are a host of things one can do directly in the Google Nest Hub. So it's pretty impressive when it comes to shopping. But let's get back to that recipe. Hey Google, go back to my recipe.
Resuming the recipe from where you left off.
So that's actually a pretty impressive element of natural language understanding that I didn't have to actually say the exact thing again. I was able to just ask it to go back to what I was looking at and Google understood me. So those are just some of the more high level things you can do, but there's also a lot of just basic, really useful productivity elements one can use the Google Nest Hub for. For example, I got invited to go play soccer in a couple weeks, but I need to know what's happening on that date. So I can just say, hey Google, what am I doing on September 14th?
There are 2 entries for September 14th. The first one is an all-day event called Fly to MN for Sharon Gabriel Wedding. At 6:05 a.m., you have flight to Minneapolis, DL 2956.
So apparently I cannot play soccer on that date because I have to go to my friend's wedding. So that should be pretty exciting. Now let's go ahead and see what the weather's going to be this weekend. So maybe I can play soccer this weekend. Hey Google, what's the weather this week?
Today through Saturday in New York City, highs will fall from 93 to 81, while lows will be around 67. Today and tomorrow, it'll be partly cloudy. Saturday, it'll be sunny.
Wow, so it's pretty hot, but I could definitely play on Saturday, 81, 76 on Sunday. That's definitely reasonable. But you know what I'm realizing? I have to go somewhere today with my family. My parents are in town. So let me just see what the drive will be like if we wanted to knock out a few things in one day in New York. So I'll say, hey Google, give me directions from the High Line to Times Square.
All right, the best way to get from the High Line to Times Square by car is via 10th Avenue and West 44th Street and will take about 20 minutes in heavy traffic. You can see the full directions on your phone.
So I've just gotten those directions sent to my phone, and you'll note that driving in New York is a nightmare, and you shouldn't do it. You should always take trains because it is just 20 minutes to go 1.2 miles, which is basically what you can do walking. So here we are back on the home page, and you can see the temperature and the time in the left bottom corner, and that's just our look at the user experience and feature set on the Google Nest Hub. So now we've shown you what the Google Nest Hub is capable of, and we've shown you what it's like to actually use some of those capabilities, but you want to know, Gabe, is this the right smart hub for me? And I'll say this, I have my Google Nest Hub in my kitchen. I can control my Google ecosystem using my voice, watch some music videos, play a little music, get some help while I'm cooking. I love that. It's small, convenient, out of the way. It's not going to be the most immersive experience because it's not going to blow you away with its visuals nor its speakers. In that sense, it's going to fall a little flat and you're going to want to look to some other smart devices. But when it comes to just jumping into the Smart Hub game for less than $100, I do think that the Google Nest Hub is a good deal. So that concludes our review of the Google Nest Hub. If you appreciate today's video, give us a like and hit that subscribe button. As always, this is Gabe with Security Baron. Be secure.